What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 3 of my Getting Started with React series. And in this part, we're going to go over props and different types of components, specifically like parent-child components. But as always, before we get started, please leave a like if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe for more content. Also, comment down below if you have any suggestions or if you want to see a specific type of video, and I'd love to definitely try it out. So, with that, let's get into it. So, first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is just delete all of our previous code. I've already started running the app. Here it is. It's the same one as last time. So, first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to go ahead and delete this code because we don't really need it right now. So, get rid of that. And the next thing I think we should go ahead and do is start organizing how our code is in terms of folders. So right now, everything is just like the index.js and app.jsx are just at the root level. But I kind of want to switch this around so it's more organized. Also, so you can understand a little bit better. So what we're going to do is first we're going to create a couple of folders. So in React, the standard is to have a components folder where you have all your components, and then you can have subfolders in there as well to go through certain types of components. And then it's also pretty standard to have like a pages folder, because you might add on a router and then have like different routes to go to different pages. So we'll just create a components folder for now, because we really only plan on messing with components. So we have a components folder, and what we'll do is it's pretty typical for a page to have a header, a footer, and a body. So we can create components for all those. And the reason we do that is because let's suppose we have, app is our main page, right? Let's say we have like 4 or 5 pages. We have app, we have home, we have about us, just standard landing pages. We have like a bunch of them, okay? Instead of having to rewrite the code, like the HTML/JSX every time for the header and the footer in those pages, we can create the header and the footer as components, and then every time just render them into the page. And that might sound a little bit confusing, but I'll explain it on. It's basically just a dry programming principle. If you don't know what dry means, it means don't repeat yourself. But yeah, that's kind of one of the best things about React. It's reusability. So let's go ahead and start creating some components. Let's start off by making a header component. So we'll call this header.jsx. And let's also make a footer component. We'll call this footer.jsx. And you'll notice that I'm going to keep the first letter of each of these components capitalized. As I said in the last video, it's kind of just a standard convention. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and just do the basics, import React from React, and then what we'll do is start off with a functional component. Now, if you guys don't remember exactly how a component starts, that's okay. I practice every time throughout the video if you're following along. That you write what I'm writing and kind of just get more used to it. Do it over and over again. It's really important to kind of know these things. Memorization is not something that's really important in programming, but small things like this and how to create a component, these are things you should memorize. And it's not hard. The more you do it, you'll just eventually start memorizing it. So yeah, we'll create our actual functional component now. So it's going to be named header, and then we'll have the content, of course. And then we'll have a return statement where we're going to have all of our JSX. Oh, I misspelled return. Return. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My computer's being a little slow. Here we go, return. So now what we need to do is, why am I getting an error? Okay, we can just ignore that, not a big deal. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is export the header. So I didn't really talk about this before, but you can check out app.jsx, and it has this export default at the bottom. And what this is doing is this is exporting the app component or the app page. And we're importing it up here in index. So for all these components, it's really important that we export them, because if we don't export them, we can't import them and use them inside of different pages or other parent components. So we'll go back over to the header and we'll just add that in. It's also a very simple line of code, just export default and then, our component name, so header. So there we go, that's all wrapped up. Now it's going to keep giving me this little error and the highlighting until I add some JSX in here, so I'm just going to add an h1 and actually a div first as a surrounding component, as a surrounding JSX element, because we need to have a body, a parent element. So yeah, well, I'll add a div in really quickly, and in this h1 I'll kind of just write header. So there we go. Now my code is, it's definitely not indented perfectly. To kind of fix that, I have ESLint, or sorry, prettier, and so when I just save my file like so, it'll organize it how I want it. So yeah, that's really not a big problem, but it's important that you kind of indent your code properly so it just looks good. It improves the readability. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it into footer and then make the necessary changes. I would recommend, if you guys are following along, that you just write it out. Yeah, it's just more practice. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it just to save us some time. So just edit these things now. We have a footer. So we want to render out an h1 with footer in it. And we want to export footer, of course. So we have that. Okay, we're good to go. So now what we want to do is kind of import these components into my app. So this is another great thing. So this is more to do with files and how we import things in React. So you can see that everything, the app.jsx and the index.js, right? These two files are in the base level of the source folder. But these two components, the footer and header.jsx, these guys are in the components folder that's inside of the source folder. So to import them, what we would have to do is something like this. We would write import, and then we're going to be importing the header component. So we exported it. If we go over here as header. Oh, and I just noticed something. I misspelled header in the file name. So let me just fix that really quickly. Sorry if you guys noticed that bothered you, but yeah. So that's fixed, and so as we can see, we exported default and we exported it as header. So we're going to import it the same way. So import header from, and then we're going to have quotes, and now we have to basically find it in the file system. So right now it's just ./srk/app.jsx. They can't find the module. So what we have to do is first we have ./ which basically means like in the root directory. But what we know is that the header and footer components, these are not in the root directory, they're in the components folder. So we'll just write components here, and then slash, and now we have to figure out which one do we want. Well, right now we're going to be importing the header, so we'll write header and .jsx. Now if you're using a JavaScript file, you don't have to write .jsx. In fact, you can even make these into JavaScript files. It really doesn't matter that much. But if you're using the .js extension, then you don't have to write anything here. But if you're using JSX, it is recommended that you do. So yeah, here we go. We have this imported, and now if we go ahead and look at our page, we're not going to see anything still, and that's because we're not rendering this component out. So to render it out, all we have to do is, it's just like an HTML, a tag. You just write header, and then you self-close it. So now everything that is being returned in the JSX of the header is being rendered within this. So this is equivalent to all of the JSX here. So now if we go ahead and look at this, you'll see that header is rendering out perfectly. So now it's the same thing with the footer. Once again, I'm just going to copy and paste. I'd recommend you guys write it out. So import footer from, let me grab that, footer.jsx. Oh, that just went in between. Sorry about that, guys. So we have our footer here. Yeah, there we go. And now what we need to do is just render this out onto the page. So we'll do that. Footer and self-close. So there we go. Now we have our footer component, and if we go on our page, there we go, header and footer. So as you can see, that's working out perfectly. We're importing these components and we're displaying them onto the page. So the next thing I kind of want to go over is how we would go about dealing with props. So props are more of an interesting kind of concept in the whole component architecture. So basically what props are, basically you can have like it's kind of like parameters. So let's say we have our header component, right? And so we have this h1 of header, okay? But let's say we want to have a p tag, right? With I guess information about this header, or like we just want to have like a subheader, like a subtitle. So we have this p tag here, and we don't know what we want to put in here. We want our app component to decide this, and so I'm gonna explain why we want to do this. Basically, it goes into the concept of reusability. So let's say instead of a header, we had a regular a card component, right? Let's say you have an employee database and we have a card component, and each card component is going to have an employee's name and an employee's first name, last name, and an employee's email. We could have H1 for the email, H1 for the first name and last name. And so then in this situation, we can't write down what the employee's name is, because then we'd have to do that over and over and over again, right? Instead, what we want to do is have props in here, meaning, an undetermined value parameter essentially that gets passed down from the app component. So that way, when you're rendering the component in the app page, it's whatever you write it to be here. So I'm going to explain that in a second. So instead of writing this in the header component, we're going to create a body content component. Or instead of a body content component, we're going to create a card component inside of our components folder. So we'll call this card.jsx. And, you guys should know how to write it out, but I'm just going to go ahead. I have these snippets. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Just ignore all this code. It's completely different. So just, I'm going to go ahead and just use my shortcut, though, to kind of make this a little bit faster. These are just JSX snippets you can get from an extension in VS Code. But yeah, so here we go. We have a component, a card component, and in here, I'm going to have an H1 that's going to have the name of the employee. In this case, we're going to go with the example I gave previously, and an H1 with their email, or actually an H2 with their email. So let's just change that up. Okay, so now what I want is I want the value in here to be undetermined, so that way I could render this card component 50 times in my page, in my app component, and have it have different values. So what we'll do is in this little in the parentheses for the function, we're gonna write props. And so now what we can do is in here we can have brackets, the curly brackets, which indicates that we're writing JavaScript here, and we can write props dot, and this is going to be our name, right? So props dot name, and here we can do the same thing and write props dot email. And so I'm going to show you a little bit like what this kind of does, but essentially these are like parameters. I think that's the best way to think about it. These are like function parameters, but a little bit more advanced, and they allow you to do the same thing. They allow you to fill in the values later on instead of when you're writing the component. So props.name and props.email. And so we're using this card component. We want to use it inside of our app.jsx. So let's import it as well. So we'll import it as card from, well, I think that's /components/card.jsx. And so now we'll render that in between the header and the footer. So now on a card component. And so now what's important to note here is, oh sorry, I misspelled that. What's important to note here is now inside of this self-closing card component, we get to pick what the header and the what the name and the email is going to be. So all we need to do is write name equals, and then whatever we want. So we'll write, I don't know, John Doe, for example, and then we'll pick an email. We'll write email equals, oops, sorry about that. Email equals, and we can literally write anything. So we'll just write, John Doe at yahoo.com, just for an example. And so now we go over to my React app, and you can see John Doe at yahoo.com. It's rendering out perfectly. Sorry, it's just reloading. There we go. So it's rendering out, perfectly. And the reason we want to create components with props is now, let's say we have like a database, right? We have a database, we have a server, and, we're loading in like 50, 60 employees, Now what we can do is, instead of having to write the code like this and hard coding the value John Doe here and John Doe at yahoo.com here, instead of hard coding those values, we can create this component, and then we can render this component out 50 billion times with, different parameters. So it really just echoes that reusability. So for example, I'll change this up, create another card component, and this time we can change it to Jane Doe, and change this as well to Jane Doe. And now we'll take a look at this. Boom, 2 components. So you can just think there's like endless possibilities. For example, you can also create like a button component maybe that you want to reuse around your app. Like there's so many things you can do. But yeah, that's really kind of how different components work and how props work in React. So yeah, that is going to be all for part 3. In the next part, we're going to cover how to map components. So what that basically means is I'm going to go over how you can kind of create a loop, in a sense, to, let's say we have like 50 names and emails, how we could take those names and emails and kind of render out like 50 card components without having to rewrite each component. So, another step in reusability. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying this video, please leave a like, and comment down below if you want me to make some other type of video. But yeah, stick around for the series, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.